Hmm. So, good evening to you all. Today is our day 32 of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp. Like I said, this bootcamp will last for about 3 months, and today is day 32. Like always, we start by showing our outlines. These are what we are to cover for the day. We're going to talk about a recap of what we did yesterday. Then we'll talk
Happy New
about
Month to you, sir.
rematch. Oh, thank you, Energy. And we'll talk about match, we'll talk about index, and we'll talk about index match. So it's going to be maybe index match, then match, index match, then index match, or match, index match, whatever, no matter what we start. But I'll explain these formulas to you today. So yesterday, if you can recall, we discussed about we solved the week 3 assignment. I think that's what we did yesterday, right? So
Yes, sir.
if you understand, the assignment is more of trying to show you how to clean a data. That's all about the assignment, nothing more. And how to use data to do some things, maybe like create a random sampling of maybe something, for example, and others. So like now you can randomly select a lot of things, or you can randomly select things out of the data using your run between function that you learn from, and you learn how to clean data, do some tricks in order for it to make it look great. So that's it. Today we are going to talk about match, index, and index match. This formula is match is a formula on its own. Index also is a formula on its own, and index match is like combination of index and match. That would give us index match. So this formula that you are seeing normally, it's what they called, that what I had and that what I saw from people. Apart from VLOOKUP, before this index match is VLOOKUP, that is most popular formula in Excel. But nowadays, index match is one of the most popular index match, because index match can do what VLOOKUP cannot. That's what index match can do. The index match can do what VLOOKUP cannot do. And index match can find data from any angle, from left, from right, from any angle. Index match can find any data. And that's the use of this match and index. But take note, normally to use match and to use index will not give you the outcome of what you need. You need to put the formulas together in order for you to get to use the formula efficiently. So please understand this. That way we are going to treat the match, we are going to treat the index, then we put the two formulas index match together. So as from today, don't get confused. Whenever you hear about index match, the two formulas are together. The two formulas are two formulas that being concatenated in one place, so that you use them and call them index match. So let's go and kind of see what this index and what this match are doing. That's what we are going to do. First of all, let me explain this to you. Index has to do with returning the row number of a particular data. Returning the row number of a particular data. For example, I'm looking for Ahmed. If I search that Ahmed, out of the array, it will return the row number of that particular name, Ahmed. For example, it will say Ahmed is under row 20. Even if your data has no rows, automatically index will give it a row number. Match will return any data that match a particular row number. That's what match return for you. So index looks for what? It looks for the row number, while match looks for the data that is within that row and within a specified column. And within a specified column. For example, if Ahmed is under 12, which row Ahmed is. It can be row 3, row 4, row 5. It can be row column. Which column is Ahmed is. If it is row 12, then which column? It can be column A, column B, column C, column D, whatever. So if you specify the exact row number of a data and you specify the exact column that match that particular data, it will return that data for you. This is a very advanced formula of VLOOKUP, and there is a reason why I didn't talk about HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. That's why you don't need them. That's why we are going to treat this index match today, so that you will learn how to use index match to extract data from the bulk of any data. So please understand this explanation. I'm going to open this my Excel, then I will start explaining this match index before we did the index match. So please take note on that. So let me open my file. So here we are. So let me write the match. Sorry. I'll write the match. I'll write the index. I think let's start with the index. So now, what's wrong with my mouse? So now we'll just find any value that we want to get is match. Okay, let me just get something. Sorry, is my network, please. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir, I can hear you
now. Just my network. I just lost my network.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Sorry, please. Let me share my screen. I know you can't see my screen, right?
No, sir.
Let me share my screen.
Okay, sir.
So let's start with this, the match. That's what we put first. So let's start with match. So to use the match, what did I say about the match? What did match did for us? Match always return a particular value that match a particular what? That match a particular row. That's what match did for us. An index will give us the exact, it gives us the row number of a particular data. So let me just bring a particular data. Let me copy this one. Let me just paste it here. I'm just going to say index, open bracket. Then we need to take the array. So I'm going to take the array. So, okay, I'm sorry. I think, let me start with the match. That's what we have first. So I'm just going to put it. So I'm going to say match. Then the lookup value is this particular number. Then the lookup array, that is the array where we are looking for this particular number. So we are going to say this. This is a row that we are looking for that number. Then I put comma, then I'll put the last one, which is 0. That means I need the exact column that match this. So I'll just put 0. So it gives me 10. So this means this particular data that I have, is what? It's match row 10. I don't have serial number here. But if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is it. You see, it matched row 10. That's what it matched. That's what we got as our what? That's the number of this particular data. So it matched row 10. So index always will bring that particular number, the data that falls within that particular row. That's what index will do for us. The data that falls within that particular row, which we call row 10. So now let me say, for example, we are going to say index. Then we take the array. You take, this is the array. The entire data is your array. So I'm taking the entire data. Then I'm going back up. Then I'll put 0. Then it will ask me for the row number. We already get the row number of this particular data. Then I'm going to write 10. For example, I'll write 10 because that's the row number of this particular data. Then if I put comma, it will ask me for the column number. Let's say, for example, I'm looking for a data under row 10 that is under column C. Let's say column C. So column C, if you can recall our VLOOKUP, I've already told you VLOOKUP has to do with what? A is 1, B is
Vertical.
2, C is what? 3, and D is
2.
what? 4. So we are looking for under column C. That is what match this row 10 under column C. So I'm going to write 3. So if I write 3 now, I press enter, it will return the name that is under column C, row 10. So if I press enter, it gives me this. So if you check the name, you see this is the exact name that you get. You see it here. So now if I even change this, if I change this number, I just come here and test it. It changed to number 9. So this particular data now, I need to put 9. I can just click on this. Sorry, I can remove this 10. I can click on whatever is inside here and press enter. Then the name will change automatically because this is number 9. If I take this, let's just take this and change this, it will turn to 8 and the name will change automatically to this particular thing. This is what index and match is doing. But now I differentiate the formula. Index is doing what it's doing, and also match is doing something else. So please, do you understand this? So both of them are independent. They are doing something. Match will return the row of a particular data, that is the number of the row within a particular data, while index return the value of that particular row within a particular or within a specified column that you give it. So this is what these two formulas are doing. So where the work is when you put the two formulas together. That is when you try to use the two formula in order for you to get what you want. Now, for example, we need to get this exact person, that is name. For example, the name of this person. We need to use the index match. Let me just write it here, index match. We need to use both two formulas in one place in order for us to get this particular name. How can we do that? To do that is we only have the number, the name. This is the only name that we have of the person. What we are going to do, we are going to say index. Then we take the array. We are going to take the array. So this is our array. Then we take the array. Then we put comma. So after this, then we are going to say what? We are going to say match because it will ask for the row number. We don't have the row number now. Forget about this type that we get from match. We don't have the row number now. So in order for us to get the row number, we need to pass the match. That's what makes the formula to be called index match. So now we pass the match inside the formula. So where is the lookup value? This is the number that we are looking for, the ID. That's what we are looking for, comma. Under which array this ID is under this ID. Then I'm going to highlight this. Then I'll highlight the array. Please, do you understand this? Then I highlight the array. So after you highlight the array, you are done with what? You are going to pass another what? You are going to pass another argument that has to do with do you need exact match? Then you need comma. Then you put 0. Then you are done with the what? You are done with the match. So you put 0, that's the exact match. Then I close the what? I close the match. So now I'm done with match. So by default, this match will return 5 for me by default, but we want it to be inside the formula. That's why we create the index match formula. So now I will put comma. The last argument is for me to pass the column. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the long name of this particular ID. So immediately I press 3, I close my bracket and I'll press enter. It will return the same name for us. Please, do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Let me hear you from the chat. No. Let me hear you, please. Yeah, I know you will say no, no. I know this formula is it. Someone say yes. Yes, no, no. I just want to see how many of you said no, how many of you said yes. And yeah, so it's okay, no have it. Okay, so I'll come back again. I'll come back again. So now what I said, first of all, we have match and we have index. For you to use them, normally you are going to use index match for you to use the formula efficiently. But I can't just go ahead and teach you index match without teaching you what is match and what is index. I have to teach you these two formula for me to teach you index match. So normally sometimes, let me just do something for you. Normally sometimes, for example, like this, you will be given a data. This is the ID. of the people. For example, this is the ID. I'll just call it ID. So this ID will be given to you based on this data, and maybe we need some data, or we want to know which row this particular ID falls within. We need to know the row. So for us to know the row number of these particular IDs, we need to use in match formula to get that. For example, this 231747, we want to know the row it falls. So all we need is to put match, open bracket, we tick on the value, then we put comma, then we take the entire array. That is the entire data. We put comma, then we put 0, we close it, and we press enter. Sorry, not the entire data. We are taking the entire row where ID is. So that way I made mistake. So don't take the entire row. So we are taking this is the row where ID is. So I'm taking it, then I put comma, I put 0, then I close it. So by default, it will give me 9. So if I count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I tick here, definitely this is where this falls. So now I can lock this. For example, now I can even lock this. I can lock this because it's the same array. Then I can drag it. Then I can drag it down. Then it will give me the entire array of this because I just copied them. But if I want, I can just change them. For example, I just go anywhere. If I change it, it will go to 43. I'll just copy anyone. I'll just copy this. For example, then I will come here. Then it will come to what? Sorry, I need to paste it here. Then it will be 77. So now I get the array of this particular data, the match of it. So that what match did. Match will return the number of row where a particular data falls within. So if you want to look for 9, we'll just go look at 9, then that's number 9, then we'll do whatever we want to do with number 9. Then we have the index. The index will return the exact value that you need under that particular row, which falls within any column that you want, because it can be column 1, column 2, column 3, whatever you need, that what it will return for you based on the row number of a particular data. So now if I say equal to index, it will ask me for the array. Then the array is what? The array is the entire data. Then I will take the entire data. That's my array, all of the data. Comma, then it will ask me for the row number of what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for number 9. Then I will tick on 9. I will click on this 9. Then I put comma, under which column I'm looking for this 9. Then I'm looking for the information, let's say under D. D is 4. So I will just press 4. Then I will close it. For example, I'm looking for, okay, sorry. The row number, sorry, I'll just write it.
That's 5. It's 4 now.
Okay,
You
it's
put
4,
5,
I
sir.
put 5, yeah. Sorry, please. It's 4, so that why 5 is nothing, so that why it shows that. Okay, so it is, let me turn the, okay, let me just drag it. I don't think it will give us what we need. Yeah, it will not. So I need to lock this first, even though it gives us what we need, but I need to lock this. I need to lock it. Then I will drag it. So now it will give us the data related to each particular column. If you go to 43, which is this, I don't have 43, so for us to go, okay, 43 should be our 44. So here is 43. This is the salary. So if you come back, you see 53, that's the exact salary under 43. So now the index and match are doing different things. But you cannot get index without getting what? Match. You must get match before you get index. So that's why in our index match, we put match inside the index so that the match will do its work inside the index formula. That's why the formula is called index match. Please understand this formula. In any interview that has to do with a very high level, position, they will ask you this formula. I don't know why people are asking, because this is the most, they call it even the most difficult formula in Excel. That's the most formula that people are kind of want to just trick you, ask you. If you don't know, they will laugh at you or something like that, or they will fail you or disqualify you. You need to understand this formula. You need to understand this formula. Okay. So now the thing that we are going to do is, instead of us to differentiate all this based on this ID, we want to know the salary of this. We don't want to categorize the formula into two columns, the match, then the index. We want to do it in the same formula. That's why the formula is called index match. So we are going to say equals to index. We are going to get the salary. We are going to say index, then it will ask for the whole array. Then we will take the entire array. Then we put comma. Now we need the row number. The only thing that will make us use the match is to get the row number. Match is getting row number for us. That's what match is getting for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say match again. Then what are we looking for is this ID, comma. The lookup array of this ID is under ID. This is the ID. Then I'll put comma, then I'll put 0, then I'll close the bracket. I'm done with the row number. By default, this row number that I'm looking for, this match formula will get it for me. Because this match formula will return 9 for me. That's why I put the entire match formula. If you look at it now, I don't want to go back. Because if you look at this match where we got 9, it's the same thing with this match that we put inside our index. So now I'll put comma. The next thing it will ask us for is for the column. Which column are we looking for? So we are looking for column D, which is 4. Then I'll put 4. Then I'll close the bracket and press enter. It will give us the exact salary, which is this. Please, do you understand this? Do you understand this?
Yes, I will get it.
Do you understand this?
We'll get it after watching.
Okay, so let me see the chat. Yeah, write your question. If you have a question, just write it in the chat. I think it's better. We'll save time. Just write your question in the chat.
This index, is it like an opposite of VLOOKUP?
It's not opposite of VLOOKUP.
Or they have H lookup.
VLOOKUP. The difference between this and VLOOKUP is that in VLOOKUP VLOOKUP is used to get the information based on the vertical row of a data. That's what VLOOKUP used for. That's why I didn't treat HLOOKUP for you to confuse you. We have a HLOOKUP that looks for a data based on vertical rows, based on the rows of information, horizontal lookup. That's what the HLOOKUP is. And there is also XLOOKUP, which the XLOOKUP is the exact formula of index match, but index match is more advanced of HLOOKUP, of XLOOKUP, because XLOOKUP is the combination of VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. That's the combination of the two. So when the index match came, it override all of them. People keep using index match instead of them, even though some people are trying to say that there is difference between both XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP with index match. Say there is difference between the two. But all the reason why I'm teaching you this, just take note on this, is to extract a certain information based on a certain value. That's all what I want to teach you based on this. So whenever you have anything, if you use VLOOKUP, it do the magic for you, use it. If you use index match, it do the magic for you, use it. That's the main purpose of teaching you this. So in your assignment, expect me to give you a particular question, maybe that has to do with something related to that. But take note, in VLOOKUP, you are not looking for row. Understand this. VLOOKUP is only looking for example, this ID. VLOOKUP will already return the information based on this that is under this. That's what it's doing for you. It will not go beyond that. VLOOKUP will not do that for you. VLOOKUP will not do that for you. HLOOKUP will find the row where that particular data is and will also find any data under that particular row, any data that falls within any column under that particular row. That's what index match will do for you. VLOOKUP will not do that for you. Please understand this. VLOOKUP will not do that for you. So that you will not get confused in your assignment. You will not get confused in your assignment to use VLOOKUP instead of index match. Please understand this. VLOOKUP will not get the row number for you. Will only return what you give it That is vertical lookup of any value you give it. That's what it will do for you. That's the only thing that VLOOKUP will do for you. That's what VLOOKUP will do for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this week is sophisticated. Of course, you need to rewatch, watch. We are getting the close of the bootcamp. So we are at the 5th week, 6th week, expect something complex than this. Maybe 7 weeks, you expect something. That's how it's going to keep going. But don't worry, it's very simple. All you need to is to just look at how we did it, because now you are thinking is different from what you think. Why do we need that 0 in index match? That 0 has to do with, this 0 has to do with the match type that you want. For example, now, if I put 1, it gives me less than of this particular value. If I put 0, it will give me exact match. If I put 1, it will give me greater than that value. So I need 0 because I need the exact match of this particular value. So that's why I put this, that's why it returned this for me. So that's why we put the 0. Write your question in the chat, please. Yeah, somebody said it's a very possible to have a data which is not ID. For example, now it can be, for example, let's say it can be Messi. Let's just copy Messi and put it here. It can be Messi. So the only thing we are going to do is to drag this array, instead of it to be here. For example, it's under ID. We want it here. So now it's here. So what I'm going to do is just to bring it under here. If I press enter, it will give me Messi is under this. We don't need now. Take note. We are using the range. Now we don't need to put anything inside double quote in our match. We don't need anything like that, because this is what we are looking for. But if we want to write the name, for example, now then I need to close it. Then I will put the double quote like this. Then I will call it L.Messi, the way it is exactly. Then it gives us this. Why? Because we don't need to put that, like I said. We don't need to put that. You must specify it here, then you apply it here. So please, as we are going, you are seeing how these formulas are changing. So take note on this. Instead of you to put it like this, just click on the ID that was given to you. You press enter, then it will return the exact one for you in the data. So please, your question is very, very important. You don't need to put that double quote that we used before. All you need to is just to put the name like this. Maybe it can be a categorical data. Then select the name where it is. Then you put it here. So I can click on this, the brand. Then if I paste it here, it will change to number 4, because that's under row 4. You see, it's 5 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 is number 4. If I paste this here, it will be number 5. It will be 5 here, and it will do the same thing.
Hello, sir.
What's different between index match and index? The difference between index match and this index is that index will only return. You can't use index without knowing the row number. For example, if we have serial number in our data, we can use index to find whatever we need based on the serial number. Because in index there, you must specify the row number that you are looking for. I can put 2. Now, if I put 2, I press enter, it will give me the salary of number 2. This is salary of number 263. You see, because I specified 2. So if I put 1, it will give me the salary of number 1. This is salary of number 1 because I specified number 1. So that's what index did. You must know the row number before you applied it. To lock your formula is you press F4. If F4 didn't work, hold Fn on your keyboard and press F4, it will work. If it didn't work, just go and put $sign by yourself. Put $sign before A, put $sign before row. That is, put $sign before column and put it before row number. Then you put it all on your formula. Put the $sign. That is shift 4. Shift 4. That's how you put $sign. Please keep writing your questions, please. If you have any question, just write it. Yeah, I don't expect you to, if you know you understand this, I'm very happy because week four assignment, you got marks in week four assignment showing that you learned a lot in week four, better than the previous week. So you have the more experience than kind of week the week. So uh understand this. If you have a question, just ask your question. We have 2 minutes, 23 seconds left. If your manager give data, what is the purpose of this formula? You were given a data that you were asked to extract a certain information of a particular people. You are to use index match to find that particular information of those people. That's what you are using the formula for. Yeah, that's what you are using the formula for. And take note, because I always want you to understand how the formula is. You are the one to explain by yourself, to tell yourself that this is when I need to use a particular something. You are the one to know that. So you should take note on that. And understand this. You are given a data sometimes, like I told you, don't know where the data is in the entire data. You don't even know where the data is. You need to find where that data is. So you need to use the match and get the row number of that data. So you copy it, you use it, and you get whatever you want to get from it. Yeah, happy that I don't know you will get marks. I don't know. I will give you assignment and see if you can get marks. Because please and please watch VLOOKUP, watch index match. Don't get confused. That's why I give interval of some days before we did this, so that you will not get confused. Yeah. No, you will get marks. Don't worry. Yeah, you will look for, you can get more than one information. Now, if I want, I can just drag this here. I can change the row number, the column. I can turn it to number 3. Then it will give me Lionel Messi. If I want another information of him, I can drag it here. Then I will put, for example, maybe 2. It will give me this. You will get more information. All you need is to change the column number. Then you will get more information based on that. So please, let's call it a day. I'll drop the video. You watch the video. Please calm yourself down. It's very, very easy. So I think this is where we are calling it a day. Have a wonderful dream. Take care. Good night to you all, please.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night. I know you are confused, so maybe we will chat in the group. Don't worry.